Welcome, folks. I'm Steve Adubato. Everything you ever wanted or needed to know about nursing. Gentleman right here knows it. He is Dr. Benjamin Evans, president of the New Jersey Nurses Association. Good to see you, Ben.
Good to see you, Steve. Thanks for inviting me.
We've had a whole range of conversations about nursing. I've done work seminars and we've had legislative forums with you and your colleagues. But the issue that keeps coming up right now in the State House is staffing ratios. First of all, what does it mean and why does it matter to the people we care most about, the patients?
Well, we want to ensure that patients get quality care. And there are two schools of thoughts on staffing. There's a school that says you have so many patients per each nurse, and the other one is you take a look at the acuity of the patient's needs, how sick they are, what are their levels of care, and the mix of the nursing experience. So if you had a ratio number, you could have one brand new nurse with 4 to 5 patients, and that meets what you need. However, if 3 of those patients have very heavy needs, that new nurse may be a bit overwhelmed. So if you look at the acuity model, you may have a nurse who has an assistant who is a seasoned nurse on that unit taking care of other patients. But between the new nurse and the seasoned nurse, they would be able to meet the needs of the patients a little bit better.
Ben, what I'm curious about is, to what degree do you think the average person watching right now, a better educated person, particularly on a public television audience, understands that there are different types of nurses with different degrees of experience, education, et cetera?
Yes. Nursing's one of those multi-entry professions.
You have your doctorate.
I do.
In the field of?
Nursing.
Right.
My doctorate is in nursing practice.
Right.
The registered nurse can start at the associate degree level, which is
RN.
a 2-year RN, and sit for the same
Associate
exam.
degree, 2 years.
2 years. Then there is the bachelor's degree, 4 years. There is a second degree entry program, which someone with a bachelor's degree in another discipline can come in and in about 18 months complete the core nursing courses and sit for the examination. Beyond that, then, are the graduate and doctoral degrees that prepare folks to be educators, administrators, leaders.
You know, the whole question of the quote-unquote nursing shortage, what is it? Is it what it was 5 years ago, meaning how serious it is? Talk about it.
Right now, there's not a real nursing shortage. The wave is coming as the boomers age out. So as those of us in that baby boom age are getting a little bit older and looking towards retirement, there will be a deficit of nursing. And not a lot of folks are choosing to go into nursing anymore.
Because?
It's a heavy position, and the schedules, no one takes Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 to be sick. It's around the clock, 24/7, 365. And so nursing can be challenging for those who are raising families and trying to make ends meet.
My question is, how do you get talented, caring, empathetic people who can make a difference to go into nursing, given what you just described?
Well, I think it's visibility. Nursing has a very low visibility. And
what do you mean visibility?
Well, people don't really know what a nurse does. And it's
They
hard
know
to
when they're
explain
sick.
it. They know when they're sick, but most folks don't know. You can't go home and talk to your spouse or your partner about, oh, here's what I did today. You know, I had a Jackson Pratt that wasn't working well, and that kind of stuff. And so what we do, how we do it, is not well known. And so, you know, you could say, oh, I'm going to be a teacher or I'm going to be a firefighter. People kind of automatically know that. A nurse, it's like, well, you just kind of like help out. And it's like, not so.
Well, in fact, by the way, to make it clear to folks, we're involved in a public awareness initiative with the association to explain to folks what nursing is, in fact, all about. I'm also curious about this nursing schools.
Yes.
Right? How has nursing education changed, just say, in the last 5 to 10 years?
Well, there's been a move to take a look at the types of coursework, move it into interprofessional education where disciplines get out of their silos and work better.
That's better for patients, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. if I'm only understanding nursing and you're only understanding pharmacy and someone else is only understanding medicine,
silos.
you don't speak the same language.
So does that change, ultimately, potentially, let's say, put it this way, could it change the curriculum, if you will?
It does change the curriculum. In fact, many schools now have programs for Masters in Hospital Administration, and those candidates take nursing courses.
Right.
And some of the nurses get into the business courses so
Right.
that we have a little bit better understanding of what other folks are doing.
Talk about nurses' role in this way. What is, Jackie, is it called joint protocol? Yeah, what is joint protocol and why does it matter to this discussion?
The joint protocol is enacted in the state law for advanced...
State of New Jersey law.
Well,
we're seeing it in many states. Is it every state? No.
No, 17 states have done away with it. They
Have done away with joint protocol. What is it?
The joint protocol says that a nurse who is prescribing medication as a nurse practitioner, certified nurse midwife, a clinical nurse specialist, or an APN anesthesia,
Advanced practice nurse.
Advanced practice nurse, must have a physician collaborator. They are not a supervisor, they are a collaborator who can be called if there is a need
protocol.
for it. Joint protocol.
And you say?
We say that that was nice in 1994 when advanced practice nurses were first given prescriptive privileges. We now have several decades of research that shows that nurses practice safely, and it is no longer needed.
By the way, let's make sure we do this. Jackie, because there are different views on this, correct?
Correct.
Let's make sure we have folks from the Medical Association, Medical Society, I guess that is the organization that represents physicians. I'm not saying all physicians feel one way and all nurses feel another, but there is, let's just say, a spirited dialogue, Dr. Evans, going on in the State House on this issue. Is that a fair assessment?
That's a very fair assessment.
Is it the legislature and ultimately Governor Murphy who determined this?
Yes, it would have to be enacted through a bill to remove the joint protocol, and the governor would have to sign that into law. Great.
By the way, Ben, I want to thank you for joining us, and on behalf of all of us who have been patients or family members of patients where nurses are key, we just say thank you to everyone in the nursing profession.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by Summit Medical Group, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Fedway Associates, Johnson & Johnson, Valley National Bank, United Airlines, and by Choose New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.